There is something I must confess with Chico. Oh god. Am I gonna get my heart broken? Hello Aromas, this is Aromie here, and welcome back to Red Embrace Hollywood. It's been quite some time since I actually picked this game back up, but for you guys, it's seamless. So anyway, we are here. Rain pattered gently against my window. I gazed down at the distant city streets where the wet pavement glistened with the reflection of endless lights. A little while ago, I'd awoken to the soft sound of a storm. Somehow it made the world seem so peaceful. It was just storming here. I wish I would have recorded during it was storming here too. It would have fit the perfect mood. Calm and drowsy, entirely different from bristling tension that filled the last few days. Listening to the rain almost made my tired body want to drift back to sleep. The phone interrupted my thoughts, snapping me back to the moment. I reached over to pick it up, but as soon as I held the receiver to my ear, Chico, Charisse's voice hissed out at me. I am coming to your room, up to your room now. What? Wait, what? The line abruptly went dead. She sounded much angrier than I ever heard her before. Apparently, my peaceful night wasn't destined to last very long. Here we go again. A few minutes later, my door rattled with 3 vehement knocks. Hi. The second I opened it, Charisse strode past me, silently storming her way inside my room. She radiated fury, even though her expression looked dangerously calm. Anger management therapy's down the hall. Charisse gave me a silent, bitter look. I had a feeling that anger wasn't the only emotion swirling inside her right now. Two of my agents were killed tonight. When she finally managed to speak, her voice trembled slightly. Not from spying, not from venturing into enemy territory, they were off duty. They hadn't even left Hollywood, but they were picked off, attacked in the alleyway as they left to see a movie together. I know I've said it multiple times already, but this really reminds me of a Batman scene. I'm sorry, Charisse. Apologies will bring them back from the dead. She scowled at me harshly as if I were somehow responsible for what happened. These little ambushes, these pathetic attempts at power plays, they're nothing more than a show, a pitiful show of strength they don't even have. One of her hands clenched into a tight fist, knuckles nearly bursting open her glove. Neither the Mavar nor the Golgotha are bold enough to make a genuine first move. They're too afraid of a real conflict. That is why I will make the first move, and an opportunity has just arisen for that. Oh god, here we go. My girl gonna die? Go on, I'm listening. Charisse took a long, deep breath, lifting a hand to adjust her glasses. When her steely gaze refocused on me, it seemed like she calmed down a little. I am currently working with the new Ascari manager of the abattoir to plan a party on Friday, a party exclusive to our coven. That club is considered the most important neutral territory because it is an extremely popular feeding ground. During the gathering, you are going to announce that the club now belongs to the Ascari, as does the whole city. Anyone who remains an enemy to our faction will be treated accordingly. Streams straightforward enough, consider it done. I'll send along my agents who will provide support both inside and out of the club. I don't need them. I have Lazarus? There may not be any initial fighting, but we should be prepared. What about the human police? They've been sufficiently informed and compensated. Any casualties will be reported as mere gang violence. I'm sorry, Charisse, but I can't take part in this. Oh shit! I've never chose that option. Let's do it. I'm sure you're quite sorry, almost as sorry as I am to force you into doing it. In case I have to spell it out further, you don't have a choice in the matter, Michiko. Uttering those words bitterly, Charisse shook her head. She still seemed different from her normal self, aggressive but uncertain, almost like a wounded animal ready to attack. And then pushing past me, she swiftly made her way to the door. You could have just said, excuse me, I would have stepped outside. Oh, and just so you're aware, you won't be allowed to leave the hotel without my permission. My agents have been instructed to monitor your movements. I suggest you do yourself a favor and stay here. Enjoy the room while you still have it. But I want to see Markus. The door slammed behind her, rattling on its hinges. And with that, I was imprisoned in the hotel. Charisse said the party would happen Friday, but today was only Wednesday. I'd have to deal with being leashed here until then, kept inside my luxury prison. I glanced outside my window where the moon and dark clouds seemed closer than the distant streets below. For once, I didn't feel hungry at all, only isolated. I had no idea how to reach Markus. After everything that happened recently, it seemed like he'd practically abandoned the shop. You guys did tell me that Markus does have like an intimate scene, but it was quite sad. So I'm kind of... I hope I don't have to run into that. I sank down onto my bed, staring at the wall with a strangely numb sensation. For a moment, I felt the same way I did my first night, all alone in this empty room. It didn't matter that I already seen unimaginable things or survived some of the darkest parts of Hollywood. The coming days still felt like the most uncertain I'd ever seen ahead of me. Ooh, where is this at? No. Yes, exactly. No, not... That's really... Fine, certainly, of course. I do plan to bring her along. A one-sided conversation filled the meeting room. I glanced up from my perch on the sofa towards Charisse, who was clutching her phone with an exasperated look. On the other end of the line was some affluent, pretentious vampire, a man who apparently wanted to meet me. He sounded like a real winner. What the fuck? Since tomorrow night was the point of no return, Charisse had gone into a frenzy of preparations. She was still trying to scrabble together allies at the last minute, snatching up every neutral party she could, even calling on vampires from outside LA to help. And now she planned to cart me to a meeting with this vampire who said I sounded fascinating. Who the fuck? If nothing else, at least it was an excuse to get out of the hotel. It just goes on and on and on. Finally hanging up the phone, Charisse muttered to herself as she gingerly rubbed her forehead. These past few nights she looked even more strained than usual, especially after what happened with Lazarus. Excuse me, Michiko. I have a last phone call to make. Kindly go wait in my car. I'll be out in a few moments. Right. Leaving Charisse behind in the meeting room, I made my way into the cool night air. Her car was parked in its usual spot, right in front of the hotel, so I wandered over and slipped inside. It seemed like I had a long and tedious night to look forward to. Oh my god. Never fear, Michiko. A low, sly voice rumbled at me from the driver's seat. Is it Markus? I was hoping it would be him. What goes down must come up, so long as you slay the spirit of gravity. Where is the actual driver, though? I had a feeling you'd show up. Well, I mean, what reaction should I choose? Markus? Indeed, that is what they call me these days. He's so cute. We turned the keys in the ignition, making the car growl to life. Sorry, not grumble. Then we started to roll away from the hotel, slowly merging into traffic. I would like to take you somewhere, Michiko. A fitting destination on this eve of turning tides. Don't say that. I feel like you're gonna die on me. Unlike the last time Markus took me somewhere, the drive wasn't a crazy near-death joyride. Does Charisse know this? Instead, we cruised through the streets at a dreamlike pace, leisurely and aimless, as if we really didn't have anywhere to go. I felt almost like the opposite of our first adventure together. Can I ask what happened to Lazarus? Markus, what you told Lazarus about my sire? Stay silent. I feel like I would just stay silent. Not knowing what to say or if I should say anything, I decided to keep quiet. Markus didn't offer any words either, letting the engine's hum fill the void of silence. When I glanced at his face in the rearview mirror, I saw two different reflections staring back at me. One of them belonged to the Markus I'd first met, carefree, dry, and playful. The other looked completely somber, but filled with an unbreakable resolve, as if something unseen was endlessly pulling him forward. Despite his earlier words, Markus didn't seem to have a destination in mind, turning down random streets, even looping around once or twice. And yet I had the distinct sensation we were heading somewhere important. Maybe in our minds. Finally, after what felt like a long time, Markus pulled up on a side road. He got out and opened the door for me, although this time I was able to leave the car without his help. Where the hell are we at? It seems we have arrived. He motioned towards the building in front of us, one I'd never visited before, though it seemed incredibly familiar. Have you been here before? It feels like it. I was hoping for dinner and drinks. Any particular reason you brought me to this place? I feel like I would say, have we been here before? Naturally. Fishing a key from his pocket, he unlocked the door, pushing it open. In the pitch black interior, which even my enhanced eyesight could barely pierce, I spotted a staircase. Ah, it looks exactly how I remembered it. Sighing contentedly to himself, Markus extended an arm to me, nodding towards the stairs. Come! Now, upstairs we go together. To the top of Hollywood. Wait, wasn't this where he wanted to take us from the very beginning? Take his arm and I'm going to save the game just to do that. Any physical touching. We began to climb upward, our footsteps echoing in a steady rhythm. Step by step by step. I quickly lost track how many we'd taken. There weren't any floor numbers listed, but as the seconds turned into minutes, the minutes into what felt like hours. It seemed like the stairs were endless. Dude, you're getting your leg workout today. They stretched on and on and on, lifting us further into the dark heights of wherever we were going. But Markus kept a reassuring grasp on my arm. He stayed protectively close to my side, always a half step behind me, like he was ready to catch me if I fell. So pretty up here. After what felt like an eternity, we stepped out into the darkness. The door opened to a towering rooftop, a view that overlooked all of Hollywood. It was beautiful and bitingly cold. Rather nostalgic, when you say. Markus slowly stepped up to the rooftop's edge, his coat fluttering in the wind. From up here, it almost looks like space. So close to humanity, yet so far away, a search for life among the stars. I approached his side, gazing down at the almost surreal view. Far below us, the city sparkled brightly, just like it had in my dream. But Markus had already turned away from the ledge. He seemed to be studying me, or maybe he was waiting for me to say something. The night of my dream, did you really bring me here? No, I did not. If you were truly here, then you brought yourself here, using your own will. I was only ever an observer, no matter how much I seemed to participate. So you didn't really kiss me, I kissed you. Okay, sad. Markus shook his head gently, smiling at someone with an old comforting secret. Then reaching out to me, he took my hands in his, long, thin fingers, tracing the lines on my palms with a black painted nail. There is something I must confess with Chico. Oh god. Am I gonna get my heart broken? Before he even came to my shop, on the night when our paths crossed for the very first time, I was already dreaming of our future. Wait, that sounds so cute. His eyelids drifted shut, a wistful smile floating across his lips. As soon as he stepped into that alleyway, I saw the whole drama of our story unfold. So many grand adventures, thrilling and provocative, flashes to open both our eyes. Tragic hardships that would have brought us closer together, learning our true natures of the depths of our bond. The delights, the promises, all the expected surprises, the rise in tension, the climax, the heartwarming resolution. Surely you can imagine it. Yes, I guess that's what I expected at the start. You plan all those things out for us. I'd rather live a life that doesn't follow a formula. No, honestly, I'm surprised you thought all that. In the beginning, yes. When you came to my shop, I envisioned a grand romantic tale worthy of Stoker or Tolkien? But at every turn, I felt the pull of fate, the opening of a different path for us to follow. In the end, all of this was for the best, for outside of our minds, I can never live up to that perfect image. Markus's voice dropped to a quiet, steady murmur, a trace of disappointment mingling with his resolve. Dude, am I getting friend-zoned? I could feel his cold fingertips still brushing along my palms, holding my hands against his chest. The wind bustled past us, carrying with it the sound of distant sirens. 3 years ago, I stepped into Hollywood for the first time. Really? 3? It feels like you've been here forever. Markus turned his head to the side, staring at the distant leaning Hollywood hills. Nobody knew who I was. I didn't know who I was, or what I was to become. I am not the man who arrived in Hollywood that night, and in 3 years' time, I will not be the man you see before you. What? What will you be? I don't care what you were like 3 years ago, because, people change. What will you be? What indeed? Not man, but not vampire, though with a corpse for a body. Not man, not vampire, but perhaps dynamite. Huh? For a moment, sounds below us pulled my attention away from Markus. Something like muffled gunshots. The echoes of fighting in the distance. They rumbled and crackled like fireworks or cannons, dull but insistent, reaching me from all directions. Michiko? As he clutched my hands tightly, I felt something cold press into my palm. I brought you here to give you one final and difficult task. Hell? What are you doing? Are you gonna run away from me? Or run away from everything? I look down to see a small set of keys and a familiar red business card. Wait, you're not... Bitch. Hello? What's going... My heart. I'm saving it here for today. Dude, what is going on? I don't... Well, you'll find out next episode, and so will I. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.